Good morning, Wayne from Wayne's Hot Rods. Haven't posted in a while. I'm working on I believe it's a 2004 2500 Dodge. Guy doing some work on our house for us. But needs a lower arm. This one is rotted almost in half. See it very well, but we'll get a better, there it is. We'll get a better look at it. Chewing the tires all up. And we got to put a thermostat in it because the upper hose is hot and the lower hose is cold. And a couple of little things I think we might mess with today. We're not sure. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. Been busy plowing snow and it's finally starting to melt a little bit. We're at the race shop today, obviously. It's too chilly to be working out of my garage. I don't have any heat yet. So, anywho, we will start ripping and tearing in this baby and see where we're at. You know, they make these fancy flashlights with magnets on them, which are great. They don't make anything that's metal anymore. It's all aluminum or titanium or plastic. Makes it a little difficult sometimes. You know, get a light to stick where you want it. And you got the pan right in the right spot. Down below there. I like that. First for everything. I have to say the whole thing's going to drain in there anyway, but hey, why not? Looks like. And then we got to get this bottom one, so we're going to need a long extension for that. Sorry, this video's not coming out the way I wanted it to. We're going to pause her here for a minute. Alright. Well, the old battery ratchet out here. Save some time turning. I just bought 3 racing go-karts last night for my grandsons. Well, 3 of my grandsons anyway, down in Pennsylvania. Anyway, as I was saying, sorry I had to take a phone call. Stop the video. Bought 3 racing go-karts for my grandkids down in PA. I believe the nearest track to them is Greenwood, but I will double check that. 2 of them are pretty young, so I don't know if they have a cage cart. I didn't even see the carts. Their dad told me about them, so I actually gave him the money last night, and he was stopped by the house. He was picking up a trailer or something in New York, where I'm at. So we've been talking about getting these carts for a while. He got an enclosed trailer, and I said I'd buy the carts, and then we'll kind of split the cost of safety equipment, and I don't think they'll go through much alcohol. If I ever get the Mustang done, we'll just give them some of that fuel. Or the old methanol in them Briggs motors, or whatever they are. I'm getting older where I'd like to see some of the kids do some of this stuff. You know, get them into an expensive hobby they can't afford too. That's always the financial way to get the kids started out in life. Spend lots of money on your hobbies. You always have something to talk about. Alright, can you drop this bolt? Come on. Come on. Holy Moses, how long is this bolt? It's stuck. Not that long. And there it is. By golly. One thermostat. And what's it look like here? Kind of expected to see it stuck open. Okay. Well. Yowza. Guess we get a little screw stick or something to get that out of there. So if you're fans of dirt track go-kart racing, you gotta get them some GoPros and whatnot on their helmets, or wherever is a good spot to put them. I'm never raced go-karts before, as far as professional or semi-professional or whatever you want to call them that the kids will be doing here. So I'm curious to. I had some friends down in PA that one year I sponsored one of their kids racing, and he only did it for a year. And then another buddy of mine, he got out of late models and got his kids into it when they got a little older. And they're doing pretty well. So at least I got somebody down there I can ask questions to and whatnot. And then hopefully we can get some content for you folks there. You know, I don't like not having content. And I've been sanding on that stupid Jaguar in the back of this shop forever. And I'm actually taping it off to, this baby is stuck in there. Taping it off to get ready to paint. Or, well, primer anyway. So I'll give you an update on that later. We'll walk back there after we're done with this thing. Alright, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to fight with this for a little while, and we'll be back. Alright, so I just figured you guys didn't want to see me beat on this thing with a hammer. Oops, sorry. On this with a hammer for a little bit to get it out. Just stuck with the rubber. I honestly thought it was going to be stuck open because we were not getting, the lower hose was not getting warm. I do like the fact that they got a little, I don't know if you can see it, this little air bleed valve. It's a one-way check valve. Years ago, they started making cars more difficult to bleed the air out of. Used to drill a hole in the thermostat or on the side here or something, just to let the air circulate around, but it does have that. But, I mean, short of putting this in a pot of hot water and heating it up with a torch, or microwave, and set it in there and see if this opens and closes, we're going to assume that it's bad. I don't know how old it is. So we'll put the new one in and, put it back together, cross our fingers. If it's not it, we will go to the next step, which would be maybe the water pump's not circulating. Unfortunately, you can't tell that a whole lot with these anymore. Well, this one does have a radiator cap, so. But we'll get her in here and put this up top. That way the air, which should be at the highest point, would escape. Sorry for. Got my handy dandy little cell phone film holder thing sitting home because I haven't been filming lately, so I brought it home. There we go. And what are we looking at? Not too bad. All right. Let's stick her back together here. Oh, lay down way. The old Ford straight 6 cylinders, boy, they used to put them thermostats right up and down so you couldn't. Very difficult to get the, you know, kind of like this with a belt in the way. Get the thermostat to start. Whoa, easy. That's much better when the light's not blinding in the face. Oh, holy hen. Huh. Look at that one. Alright. I got it. Right here. You know, it looks like it's right there. It should be able to screw this day. Ooh. Maybe I should have pulled the belt off. It would have been easier to put on. That would make too much sense to make it easier. You know, I always say, sometimes it's easier to go a little bit further on your job just to make life that much easier, but then there's days when you're stubborn like today. You just want to mess around for hours. When it would have took you 10 seconds to pull the belt off. Get it in there. I even parked by the window here so I could have some natural light. Getting tired of gray skies every day. It'd be nice to actually work outside a little bit in the sunshine and warm weather. And sit in the wearing 75 layers of clothes to stay warm. And I got the okay that I can maybe film some stuff at work. I just got to send it to the video to the higher ups to get the okay. Might have to blur out the work stuff maybe. I don't know. They didn't really say that. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing offensive, I guess. I don't know. We had a meeting one day about that, so. Alright, there's one. And up. I could have went over and got a longer extension so I could use the battery reactor for that too, but you know, that's 3 steps away. Why would I go that far? Much easier to fight. Anyway, so this is the old 5.7 Hemi, a 2004 Dodge. I'm going to assume they're all the same. I don't know. I haven't really worked on many of these, so. But I'm going to tell him he probably needs plugs and wires and whatnot with the mileage on it. It's running pretty rough. Never know when the last time it was been tuned up. I'm going to say, by looking at stuff, it looks pretty original. It's a lot of mileage. I just did plugs on my girlfriend's Colorado. Hit a little over 100,000. It ran okay. It just had a spot when you're driving down the road. It always seemed like it was struggling, and then I would have to kick down to take off. And bought a set of plugs and put it in there. And I pulled the old ones out. They didn't look bad at all. And I put the new ones in anyway. Obviously, I had them and had 100,000 on it. But it did make a giant difference in how it ran. I was very, very surprised in a way just by looking at things, but I can't say a whole lot because with the race car we change plugs all the time and they look fine. But the next video, probably gonna be working on my new Ford. Well, new to me, 2017. I have to put a, I think it's a CCV filter in it. I want to do a training service, transfer case. Never did one on one of those. Can't imagine it being that difficult. So anyway, so I'm gonna finish tightening this bolt up, fill up coolant, let it run, and start pulling the other part off. I'll get back to you with a video on that. So if you're looking at this to change the thermostat in a Dodge, not a big deal. Probably 13 mil for 2 bolts, and it's got the gasket around the thermostat, so it's just in and out. Just make sure there's some rust on there or whatnot. And I'll let you know if this works, and we'll continue on with our video for doing the front end parts. Hey, we're back with the Dodge. Well, there's some New York rust for you. And I'm not going to go any further and show you because this I'm going to recommend to them to get it lined up and sell it. By the way, thermostat worked mint, got good heat, so it must have been stuck, I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter. So anyway, this is going to be quite intensive to take off. It's rotted terribly, rather noisy. I'll try to shoot some video of it here, but I might have to just kind of like get in and out of it a little bit. This one I can get the gun on. This one I might be able to use a swivel, but unless I get on the back side of it, maybe. Get the nut off. And I believe there's a cam right there, and that's for the front end alignment. So we hopefully can get that right back where it was. So I do align it, they can just set the toe. But yeah, that's probably why it's not handling the best. So anyway, I don't want to keep looking at it. I'll find more. Let's see what this does. Well, that fell right off, by golly. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands. So anyway, I will kind of splicing it out. Anyway, so it's really basically pretty easy. Just bolt here, take them out. There's a cam here. I would assume there's a cam on the back side for alignment. So this will set your caster, I believe, which moves the front tire back and forth. I don't think you can caster or camber. I'm terrible. I've done alignments, but I'm terrible at remembering those for some reason. Anyway, so if you do one of these, make sure you put the cams back in on the side they came out of, and make sure they are as close as where you were, just to help the alignment guy out. And once you have it apart, you might as well clean it up and make it free, so if he does have to adjust it, it's not a horrible thing. Okay, I will get back with you. So anyway, we're on the Dodge still here. Sorry, I'm not feeling good. We got that one out. We got the nut off and the cam. This side, the bolt won't come out. So what's happening is there's a steel bushing in there. I think I'll show you a new one here. And that bolt is frozen to that steel bushing. And I'd rather not cut it with a torch, because then it's going to send black smoke flying, because there's rubber around it and it's going to burn. And so what I'm going to try to do is cut it with my cutoff wheel. And if I can slice that around the bolt, then it'll loosen it up enough. I can get the bolt out, take it out. But I've been working at this thing for 2 hours and I'm getting rather frustrated working it. It'll turn back and forth, but it's just that froze on there. I've been beating it with a air hammer and not having any luck, and I don't have another bolt to put in it. So I'm hoping I can rethread it or save the nut. The bolt I think is okay. It's the nut that I'm worried about because I screwed it on. And of course can't find my head for my air chisel. All I've got the chisel itself. There's a hammer head, but yeah, you know, can't find that. Must have dropped it somewhere. So that's my quick update. I will be back. Whoa. So there's that sleeve I'm talking about that's froze to the bolt. She'll spin around here. Well, it should. Put a socket on it, it'll spin around. But you gotta cut that thing off of there. Of course, there's a big chunk of rubber around it. There's another bar around it, you know, so cut all that off. Had I been smart, I would have just seen if they had another bolt with the cams and just cut it off and got a new one. Which I should do anyway, but I'm this far now. Okay, continuing. All right, good news, YouTube viewers. I got it out. Where'd it go? Right here. Holy Moses. What a fight. But that's stupid shim. In the end, I ended up having to cut it with a torch. I had that sucker red hot, still would not let go. So I had to slice it with a torch and then use my air chisel. And even then, it fought me all the way out. So, that being said, here's the new one. And we're gonna, not that this truck will ever have it replaced again, but we're gonna lube it up with Never Seas and you know, make sure it's nice and free when it goes back together. So I am certainly glad. I think it took me 3 hours to get this sucker out of here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my gloves off. Uh-huh. Oh, there it is. Open up here. Here's visualize. And the warning tag says, to avoid bushing damage, do not fully tighten bushing bolts until suspension is at ride height. Okay. Fair enough. So before you crank the collar out of it, make sure she's down on the ground. I guess it doesn't matter left or right, or front or back. So, she's still a little warm. I am going to, where's the other bolt? Oh, the other bolt's under there. Okay. Alright, I am going to take a break for 5 minutes, collect my thoughts. We'll stick this baby back in. And, yeah, we're a little dirty. We'll give you a video or a shot when it's back in. Maybe I can video a little bit putting it in. Alright, anyway. This is going to be a really crappy video, I know, guys. Sorry. Because it's been a while since I shot it. I got to use my GoPro or my regular camera instead of this phone. So the bar here, that's the one we've been messing with for the past, I don't know, 3 hours. So I lubed everything up. This is a piece that was giving us a hard time. So that bushing I had to cut out. This side, no big deal, right? One bolt, slid it out, no big deal. So it just went right back up in, no big deal. Didn't have to, I thought maybe I'd have to move the front end around a little bit, but no. I did have a jack stand behind me the whole time. Even though the floor jack was here, I just was using both. I did have a jack stand, it's right there. Just slid it out because I'm going to put the tire on and back this out so I can clean it up, or clean up the floor. But anyway, if I were to do this again, I would see if they have the cam bolt and the cams, because it would make life a lot easier just to cut it and get it out of there. If they don't make them or you can't get them, then and it's froze like that, you're gonna need a torch for sure. I probably should have done it a lot sooner with the torch. I was just trying to, rubber burns, gets all that black crap in the air. I didn't want to get it all over his Robert's cars and stuff. So, because this is not my garage, I use it all the time, but I don't own it, so try to respect that. But anyway, the thermostat worked great. The truck's got mint heat. I gotta double check the coolant level. It's been sitting for quite a while. We're a little low, no big deal. Just top her off. But yeah, thermostat was easy. That's all I had to do today. It would have been mint. So we're gonna throw a tire back on it, and he can get this thing aligned. And then he's got some other issues to take care of that is above and beyond what I can do, at least here. So yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll try to shoot some more video content. Like I said, maybe I'll have one of the kids shoot a video when they get the go-karts, and we'll put it up on the channel. Blue cars in the back. We're getting ready to prime that up. I got to paint or finish taping it off. Hang some plastic ups just to keep the dust out of it, which isn't that imperative for the primer because you're going to sand it anyway. This car here, timing chains. Don't know if I want to do them, but it's waiting. If anybody's ever done them on the 5-liter supercharged, drop me a line. Let me know if I should even attempt it. And I gotta adjust the headlights on this thing, maybe. Quick. So we're gonna clean up our mess and call it a night. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Leave me a comment. Thanks.